Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a bunch of stuff that I need to get done. I have a bunch of groceries back here from my last Costco haul, which we got home late last night and I haven't put them away. So I'm gonna get all of those put away. I got some new pantry organization. I'm also gonna be doing some meal prep, some produce prep, things like that. So if you wanna hang out with me while I get some stuff done in my kitchen, maybe you can check some things off your own to-do list. But we are gonna go ahead and get started. I think we're gonna start in the pantry because I've got a lot of work to do in there. So this is what my pantry is currently looking like. It's not terrible. It is like somewhat decently organized, but I've really not been liking like all of our snack situation right here. So I got a bunch of bins and different canisters. I'm also gonna be moving a lot of our pasta into canisters just because I don't know, I'm sick of the boxes and I feel like there's a lot of wasted space in these too. So we are gonna get started on decanting a bunch of stuff from Costco and just get all of this organized. So I'm just starting off by pulling everything out of the pantry that I know I actually wanted to put into different containers. I did have a lot of different containers in there, but I ended up picking up these OXO pop containers at Costco for a really good price. It was like $50 for a 9-piece set. So it's really good for this brand of containers. I have been debating on buying these for years now, and I have to say they were worth the investment. I absolutely love them. I love the look of them, and I also feel like they're just very functional, and they're also very quick and easy to open. I actually ordered some on Amazon like a couple weeks ago and I was not impressed with the quality at all, so I ended up returning those and getting these instead, and these are so much better. I'm so glad that I ended up going with these. So if you are looking for new containers for your pantry, I highly recommend the OXO brand. They really are wonderful. But I'm just decanting everything that we use on a regular basis. So we go through a lot of like nuts and dry goods. All of that stuff is going into canisters, and most everything is in canisters at this point. I feel like it's really nice to have everything airtight and sealed. As you can see, this got a little bit messy filling everything up, but it was totally worth it. I loved the end result, and my kids and my husband have been really enjoying it too. Sometimes these big bulk items from Costco can be really hard to store in a small house. We only live in like a 1,600 square foot home, so it's pretty small, and I have to get pretty creative when it comes to storing these things. So I put a lot of it into our small pantry, and then I do have another area in our house where I store like the bulk amount of it. So like the extra rice, it gets stored in a different area of our house. And this is our tiny little pantry here, which I get everything in. But I have to say I'm super grateful to have this pantry because before we did our kitchen remodel, we did not have a pantry at all. And also I will say, yes, I do note that the shelves in here need a little bit of work. We put them in, and honestly we should have put in more brackets, but it is what it is. I'm sure we will end up redoing it at some point here, but for right now we're just making it work totally fine. I am just adding a few of the jars back in here that I ended up having before. They still are really, really nice jars. I love the glass jars, especially for putting in like little treat type items like this. They were perfect, so I just threw those back in there, and I have to say I love how this pantry turned out. It has been very functional, easy to keep up with, and I am super excited about it. Now I'm just heading over to this drawer in our fridge, which I basically use this as a snack drawer for my kids. It has worked really well. I've used it this way for a couple years now, but I like to keep mostly fresh items in here like apples, oranges. I usually have cheese sticks in that little gray bin, which we were out on this day. Applesauce, and that red container always has boiled eggs in it. This is just a drawer that I can let my kids kind of dig in. I don't mind if they take stuff out of here because it's pretty healthy snacks. So I'm just restocking that. And then I'm also pulling out this chicken that I grabbed from Costco. It's just one of their rotisserie chickens. I had about half of it left, and I'm just pulling all of the chicken off. I'm actually gonna make some chicken salad with this, and then we're also gonna be making some chicken broth with the carcass. Great way to not have any waste, and it was super delicious. Definitely better than the store-bought stuff. Once I deboned all of the chicken, I'm just getting this chopped up. I'm just doing a really rough chop because, like I said, this is just going to be chicken salad. No need for it to be perfect. I have to say these rotisserie chickens from Costco are such a good deal. It's only $5 for this whole chicken, and our family will usually get at least 3 meals off of it. Honestly, the next time I go to Costco, I might end up grabbing a couple of extra ones and just pulling the meat off and putting it into the freezer for like quick and easy meals. Chicken salad we love. I think it would be a great thing thing to have in the freezer, so I might do that next time we go to Costco. So I am going to get started with making this chicken salad. I am starting off with cutting up a sweet onion. This is a really huge onion. I probably only used about a quarter of this, and then I ended up putting the other chopped onion just into this container, and I just kept that in the fridge for a couple of days and used it for other meals. But you're going to want about anywhere from like a quarter cup of an onion to like half cup, just depending on your personal preference. For my other onions, I just did more of a rough chop, but for what was going in the chicken salad, I did want to make sure that that was more finely diced up, so I gave that a really good chop, threw that in with my chicken, and then I'm also cutting up some pickles. I love pickles in my chicken salad and my tuna salad. It's also my kids' favorite, so I do a pretty good amount of pickles, probably like at least 3/4 of a cup, probably about a tablespoon of mustard, and then you're gonna want to start with like maybe half a cup of mayo, and then you can always add in more. I'm using this Primal Kitchen avocado mayo. I do really like it. I will say it has a different flavor, but if you like avocado, then you might like it, and then you can just do salt and pepper to taste. Honestly, with the pickles in there, I usually don't even have to add any salt, but you can just do all of that to taste, and this chicken salad is super yummy. After I was done making the chicken salad, it is time to make some chicken broth with that leftover carcass. So I'm just cutting up some carrots. This was like 3 carrots. They were very large ones from Costco. So I just chopped those up really, really roughly. And then I also have 1 large onion, cut that into very large pieces. There's definitely no science here to cutting it. You really just want to get the flavor in the broth, and it works perfect. You can also add about 3 stalks of celery if you want to, but that is just personal preference. I did not have any, so I skipped it, but next time maybe add it. I don't know. Totally fine. And then I have a whole head of garlic. You don't even have to peel this. I basically just cut the cloves in half to make sure that the garlic flavor really came out, but you don't even have to peel your garlic. You can just throw it in there as is. Super, super quick and easy. You can do it on the stovetop, but I chose to do it in the crock pot because it's just way easier that way. I knew I wouldn't have to watch it. So I just dumped everything into my crock pot. I just added a little bit of salt and pepper to taste. I dumped in about 3 quarts of water, and then I cooked this on high for 4 hours. You can definitely tell when it is done cooking because everything is just like really dark, very flavorful, and then at that point you can add in any extra salt or other seasonings that you might want in there. I just kept it very basic and simple. All I did was some pink Himalayan salt, tiny bit of pepper, and you guys, this was absolutely delicious. This was actually my first time making chicken broth, and it was so much better than the store-bought stuff, so I will definitely be doing that again in the future. After that 4 hours was up, I just pulled out like the carcass, all the vegetables and everything, and then I just strained the broth through the strainer here. I will say I ended up straining it back into the crock pot just to make sure that I got everything out. And this was a really delicious chicken broth. I ended up cooking it for like another 30 minutes just to, I don't know, get all the flavors cooked together. Like I said, add your salt at the end, and it was super yummy. When it comes to storing the broth, you can put this in your fridge and use it within the week, or you can throw it into the freezer. I did about half and half, so I put a couple jars in the fridge and a couple jars in the freezer. But if you are going to be freezing it, just make sure that it comes to like room temperature before you actually put it in the jars and put it in the freezer, because you do not want to shatter glass all over your freezer. So just make sure that it's cooled off first, and then also make sure to leave room at the top for expansion during the freezing process. So I've never made that mistake before, but I have heard some horror stories of people having like shattered glass all over the freezer. So don't make that mistake. And if you have this little canning funnel, it makes filling up the jars so much easier. I sometimes use this with like recipes like this or with canning, and it works so well. If you have been around on my channel for a while, you know that I swear by produce prepping. It makes my life so much easier as a busy mom. If you are new here, you might not know, but I'm actually a busy mom to 3. I have a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and then an almost 10-month-old. So I am very busy. I do also homeschool, so it's a busy season of life that I'm in. I'm a farm wife. We've got a lot going on. We're also going to be getting chickens here in like the next week. So as much as I can plan ahead, it saves my life. So I always always keep chopped up peppers in our fridge. I like to have cucumbers on hand, and then I try and have some sort of fruit cut up pretty much at all times. It just makes it super quick and easy for snacks, pairing with lunches, just saves my life all around. The other thing that I always have in my fridge chopped up is some carrot sticks. I used to always buy the little baby carrots, but I actually found that I really love the flavor of organic carrots. Like I used to buy the whole regular carrots, non-organic, and I found that the organic ones tend to be a little bit sweeter, and I don't know, we've enjoyed them a lot more. And this is something that I keep pretty much in our fridge all the time because I will roast these in the oven, steam them for our baby, he loves them too, or we'll just have them cut up with hummus for lunch, and it is such a delicious snack. If you have any favorite snack suggestions, I would love to hear them in the comments down below. If they are your favorites or your kids, definitely leave them for me and I will give them a shot because I am always looking for new snack ideas, and if they are healthy, that is definitely a bonus. I do try and keep my kids' snacks on the more healthy side, try and do less like fruits and veggies, try and stay away from the crackers a little bit more, but of course they have a little bit of that too. And then here I'm just chopping up some romaine hearts. I always use my OXO salad spinner. You're gonna see that I use that for a lot of my produce prep. I do not just use it for my salad. I use it for all kinds of things at my house, and I really love this. I will have it linked below off of Amazon. I think it's like $30, and it is worth its weight in gold, worth every penny in my opinion. I used to always buy the lettuce pre-cut from the store, but I found that it would go bad a lot quicker when I did it that way. So I started prepping mine at home instead, and it seems to last a lot longer for me. I just make sure that my lettuce is completely dry before putting it away, and this OXO salad spinner does a really good job with that. It definitely increases the life of a lot of my produce, so I think it's totally worth it. And then here I'm using that same salad spinner to wash my produce. I've got some raspberries here. I just did those in cold water, let them soak for like 5 minutes, and then I really gently spin out my berries. It does not smush them as long as you are gentle with it. I have had no issues with them getting smushed. And then I'm just throwing a little paper towel into the bottom of my mason jar. This helps like get any moisture out of the berries. It helps them last longer. This has been my favorite method lately for storing berries this way. I just throw them in the mason jar and then I put a lid on top. I just get these reusable lids off of Amazon, and it's really nice to not have to deal with the metal ones. Another fruit that I love to have prepped in my fridge is grapes. These are a little bit more hardy too. They're way more hardy than berries. They will last probably at least 5 days in the fridge once they're washed. So I like to do cold water with lots of vinegar, probably like half a cup of vinegar, and then I give them like a very vigorous like rinsing. Let them soak for like 5 to 10 minutes, mixing them up as they go, and it helps get that residue off. It seems like grapes are very waxy. Once they are done soaking, I make sure to rinse them off really well because there is going to be that vinegar on there and you don't want your grapes to taste like vinegar. And then I just spin them out, throw them into a storage container, and these last so well in the fridge. And I have to say, these grapes from Costco are like the best. They're always super like firm. They're not squishy like a lot of the grapes I get from our local stores. I don't know, they just seem so much better in my opinion. Well, that is actually going to wrap up today's meal prep and pantry restock video. I hope that you all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you let me know down in the comments if you want to see more of these meal prep videos on my channel. I used to film them a lot. If you guys enjoyed it, I will definitely keep making them. I share a lot of recipes on my channel. If you are new here and don't want to miss out, make sure you're subscribed, and I will catch you all in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.